The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I have a neighbor, someone who lives across the street from me. Their family's name are the Gripers. Rabbi and Mrs. Griper are a couple that are maybe one of the most incredible families I've ever met in my life. These people live a simple life. Their happiness is so abundant. They have guests in their home of every type and every walk of life. People that others would never invite in their house, they happily invite them to their home. They're always upbeat, always positive, always talking about Hashem. And they have a child whose name is Batsheva, who is a child of special needs. She has Down syndrome. And she's the most adorable personality. She's very short. She comes into the neighbors' houses. She laughs. She giggles. She's funny. She's friendly. And a few years ago, she passed away at 17. And her nickname was Baba. Baba was in our house all the time. And it was like, she was just fun. You couldn't stop laughing and giggling with Baba. Anyhow, she passed away. And recently, the family made a book in her memory about her stories and the lessons they got from her life. And it has wonderful pictures in there of her and the most silly, funny, beautiful, genuine moments that family could have with a child like this. And it says, this title of the story, I think the title of the book is Lessons from Abba. That means the father talking about lessons that he got from his daughter. And last night, the man came to our house. I wasn't home. He delivered this book to my wife. So I opened the book, and I want to share with you one story. Their oldest son, about a year ago, his name is Simcha. That's an Ashkenazi, that's a boy's name. Simcha was walking somewhere in the street, and maybe he passed an ice cream store. And he sees a young man in the ice cream store with his younger sister that has Down syndrome. And they're eating ice cream. And he could tell that this young man is annoyed and uncomfortable and embarrassed from his sister. So Simcha goes over to this young man and he says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm having ice cream. That's my younger sister. She has Down syndrome." So Simcha says, "Wow, that's unbelievable to see." He says, "I want to tell you something." And he knows this man is uncomfortable because he's uncomfortable that that's what his sister is and that's what his sister looks like. He says, I also used to have a sister that was Down syndrome. And I'd give anything in the world to have one more ice cream with her. So cherish the moment. Don't feel bad about it. Don't be angry about it. Appreciate it. And the beauty of that moment is that in one fell swoop, this young man was communicating, we're all the same. We all have the same challenges, the same ups. You didn't do anything wrong, God forbid, to have that child. Maybe you did something right to have the zechut to raise that, to take care of that child. And you know what? You think it's something you should be ashamed of. It's something you should be proud of, that you have a sister that you care for like that. And I'm proud of it too. And their family always was. And that's the reality, is that the next time we have a temptation to have a conversation about someone else's problem or someone else's mistake or someone else's struggle, realize it's the dumbest thing we could do. It's the worst thing we could do. It's the biggest lie in the world to think that I am ahead of you and there's nothing greater that I can do than to uplift you and make your day. Be that person, and between man and man, you'll be ready for Rosh Hashanah. Thank you.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org